Local 4 News starts now with a breaking news alert.
That breaking news coming to us from Detroit's east side. One child is killed, 2 others rushed to the hospital after a violent hit and run.
Detroit Fire says an SUV was being chased when it hit another SUV not involved in that chase at Field Street and Agnes near East Grand Boulevard. The SUV being pursued had 3 adults and 3 children inside. We're told the 2 children injured are in critical condition. Police are still searching for the driver responsible.
The first bars and restaurants in Michigan will reopen to dining service just about an hour from now.
Ever since the governor's stay-at-home order went into effect back in March, restaurants could only offer carry-out and bars have been shut down. Our Nick Monticelli is live in downtown Traverse City, where there's a lot of buzz for tonight's reopening. Nick?
Yeah, there's been a lot of people calling these bars, like Brady's here in downtown Traverse City. Oh, and there's one man apparently happy that we're here. So they've been calling, trying to figure out who's going to be opening. We honestly thought there would be lines waiting to get in. 1 of 2 bars are opening in Traverse City. Nobody's here as of yet. We're still an hour away, though. There's something interesting to talk about, though. If you look at the door here at Brady's, there's a very clear sign that says, if you are not from the northern Michigan region, do not enter. Talking to the owners and managers inside, they're saying that's basically their way of trying to keep COVID-19 out of their building, because they know that the spread and the issues have been far more prevalent in our area in southeast Michigan. So they said they're not going to be checking IDs, but they are hoping that people heed that sign and say, listen, if you're not from this area, we just want this to be about the locals. We want to give them the opportunity to enjoy themselves safely. So again, 1 of 2 bars. This is one of them. The other one is about 5 miles away from here. I talked to that owner as well. She's excited. They, in fact, did a whole lot of remodeling during this time and then realized, oh, we have the opportunity to open. So they had a plumber there until about 6 or 7 o'clock today, finishing that job. There is buzz. There's a lot of excitement, but a lot of other places are also saying, you know, this is all coming so fast, we're going to wait. And you can probably see another dozen or so opening tomorrow during the normal hours, but we're going to be here all night long. We've talked to a few people. They will be here showing up right at 12:01 to get their first drink, their first beer. We'll see what the crowds are like. We're live here in Traverse City. Nick Monticelli, Local 4.
It's going to be so fascinating to watch, Nick. If you open, will they come?
Yeah.
We will find out more tomorrow. Look forward to your reports then. All right. More businesses will soon reopen, with Governor Whitmer lifting some of the restrictions all across the state.
Effective immediately. Gatherings of 10 people or fewer are now allowed, but you still have to follow social distancing rules. Medical, dental, and veterinary procedures can resume 1 week from tomorrow. Retail and auto dealerships can reopen Tuesday, but by appointment only. And right now, store owners are trying to determine how feasible retail by appointment can be for their business.
Let's get to Mara McDonald, who's in Royal Oak tonight. Mara, the independent small businesses there seem to be willing to give this a try.
Well, sure, Devin. You know, we did some calling around tonight to some of the outdoor malls to see if any of the national chains were willing to try and give this a go. Right now, it sounds like nobody's made a determination. But in cities like Royal Oak, where you have all sorts of independent small business, they're ready to go. Pre-pandemic, a warm Thursday night in Royal Oak would be spilling over with traffic and people. Tonight, not so much, but with the governor's very limited retail reopening, the stores here are ready.
Right now, we are going to go with the program. Everyone has to wear a face mask, customers entering the store. And for the appointment only part of it, we decided, I think we're deciding to have a little sign. If you want to shop, please knock.
London thinks she can let in about 3 customers at a time. It certainly isn't the volume Right Impressions is used to, but she's ready to go for it.
I think it's worth it because it gives people hope, and people do want to support you. So all in all, I think it's a positive thing, and it's a little step.
The city of Royal Oak is trying to help its retailers and restaurants navigate this and change up how they do business.
Our city commission is looking at ways for retailers, restaurateurs, coffee shops to expand their sidewalk cafes and their retail footprints onto the sidewalks and into some of the parking spaces on the street. I'm really proud of what the DDA is doing in Royal Oak.
But for Baglio, expanding into the street really doesn't sell the experience he's known for.
Drag Queen Bingo can spice up any occasion.
515's Drag Queen Bingo is crazy popular, but right now there won't be any in-person performances, but Coming June 1st, after working with a software developer, Bingo is going online for interactive performances.
I think we've got a product that will give that experience that people are looking for, that one-on-one with the entertainers. And my prayer is that it's only for a short time, and that hopefully come fall, come winter, we'll be able to bring our audiences back.
Back here live, the businesses here in Royal Oak are ready to go, and I think they're going to try a few things this summer to try and make people feel comfortable as far as stretching out their businesses into the street and having more of an open air feel. We're live in Royal Oak tonight. I'm Mara McDonald. Back to you.
Okay, Mara. The CDC is out with some guidelines for schools if and when students return to the classroom come the fall. Many of them seem tough to implement, and many parents were quick to express their displeasure on social media today. Jason Colthorpe has been looking into how realistic these guidelines are, and he's live at Southfield High School to give us an update on this. Jason?
Yeah. Kim, the reason there was so much outrage on the social media circuit today was because it wasn't quite correct. What was circulating wasn't ripped from the CDC directly, and it was meant, frankly, to spark outrage and anger amongst parents and teachers, and that's exactly what it did. But the simple fact is these are not requirements by the CDC. These are simply suggestions. Now, that said, many don't think that this is quite realistic simply because they don't think kindergartners are going to be able to wear face coverings all day long. The CDC has some safety precautions it wants schools to consider when reopening to students in the fall. Among them are face coverings for all students, kindergarten and up. Keep each child's belongings separated, desks 6 feet apart, keep buses at 25% capacity, and many, many more.
I mean, it'll take getting used to.
Madeline Brown is going to be a senior at Lamphere High School in the fall. She expects school to be a little like what her 17th birthday party was today, trying to do the same thing, but at a safe distance.
I think there needs to be an attempt, being that there are some kids who are at higher risk of obtaining the coronavirus.
Her mom agrees, but thinks it is time for kids to go back.
The social interaction and what you get out of learning in a classroom can't be replicated at home, certainly not quickly on the fly. So I think it's time for them to get back to doing what they're used to doing.
I think we're going to need more educators, not less.
The head of the Michigan Education Association, Paula Herbart, expects to see COVID guidelines in schools, but says there simply isn't enough space or staff or possibly even buses to implement the CDC's suggestions.
Can't assume that they're just going to come back. They're going to know to wash their hands. They're going to know to wear their masks. They're going to know to physically separate. But educators are going to first have to teach them how to follow CDC guidelines, and then they'll be able to get down to the teaching and learning part.
Including elementary school kids. Now, we also heard from a 23-year teacher tonight who was adamant kids need to be back in school full time. And while many probably agree with her as well, Herbart says don't expect a full 5-day-a-week school week when this resumes, simply because with COVID more prevalent in certain schools and districts, it's more likely that it'll be a mix of online and in-person classes, depending on how bad the situation is geographically. In Southfield tonight, Jason Colthorpe, Local 4.
Much to figure out. All right, Jason. President Trump in Ypsilanti today, touring the Ford plant that's manufacturing ventilators for the COVID-19 pandemic. The Rawsonville plant usually makes auto parts, but currently making ventilators for General Electric Health. The president says he's proud of the employees who've stepped up.
Every one of the workers in this project volunteered to take part in the greatest industrialization and mobilization project that our society's done, the American people have done in our lifetimes.
Ford executives giving the tour all wore masks except for President Trump, though he says that he wore one briefly during a private part of the tour. And late tonight, the press secretary for the Republican Party in Michigan tweeted this picture showing President Trump wearing the mask that he had pulled out of his pocket earlier to show that he did bring one.
Well, it's something we haven't seen yet here since the pandemic, but this is a look at customers dining in at Molly Pitcher's in New Hudson. We first told you about the owner's plans last night, but today the Oakland County Health Department served a cease and desist letter to the owner after opening against the governor's orders. The health department says there are a number of violations. There's a hearing scheduled tomorrow to determine what happens next.
With the damage estimated in the hundreds of millions of dollars today, the president approved Governor Whitmer's emergency declaration for the flooding in and around Midland, and that clears the way for federal aid. 48 hours later, though, Drone 4 showing us entire roads and neighborhoods still underwater. In the small town of Sanford, families who got back in today got their first look at the damage, and some of them found nothing where their homes once stood.
Roads were blocked off, so we couldn't get here until just now, and it's astonishing. I can't believe the devastation, damage. We don't expect it to be gone. It's something that you can't even fathom. Your whole life is in a house and it's gone. I'm thankful that everyone is safe. Things are just things, but it's still a hard pill to swallow.
The flooding forced about 11,000 people in the Midland area to evacuate. Officials say it could still take a few more days for the water to recede.
Certainly don't need any more rain, so let's head over to Ben to see what we're going to expect for this holiday weekend.
Yeah, Kim and Devin, unfortunately, we got a couple showers that are coming in tomorrow, but they're going to be really light compared to what we have been through earlier in the week. So I don't think there's going to be any problems for that. Can't say the same, though, as we get later into the forecast. Let's start with the current stuff, and you can see that there are showers coming in out of the Ohio Valley. Some of those are getting very close there to the state line with Ohio, but I think a lot of that's going to stay south until we get into tomorrow morning. There you can see some widely scattered showers are going to start moving in after sunrise tomorrow, and there will be more of those coming in as we get into the afternoon hours as well. But that's the light stuff compared to what is coming later in the forecast. Still have those east winds, so lakeshore flood warning still in effect until 4 p.m. Friday as those lakes just not going to recede, especially with some of the runoff coming from upstream. So coming up, we'll take a closer look at your Memorial Day weekend. It's got heat, it's got humidity, and it's got thunderstorms. All that coming up in a few minutes, guys.
Okay, Ben. Still ahead, a disturbing attack inside a local nursing home is caught on camera.
That video going viral and getting the attention of police in the process. How they quickly identified the attacker coming up next. People talk to me about Frank McGeorge all the time, where misinformation spreads all around the world like wildfire. Frank just has this really measured approach to some very complicated things. Well, Frank is an emergency room doctor.
I am seeing firsthand what's really going on.
His producer, Sarah Mayberry, has a master's degree in public health. We are really, really fortunate. Frank is always there for us, and right now he's always there for you.